Welcome back to the Color Pink Podcast. I'm Hallie.
You are?
No, I'm Sydney.
Good prank.
I'm
Prank star.
Sydney.
I'm Hallie.
And welcome back to the Scientist series.
Hey, turn up.
Hey.
This series is based entirely around a tool that we love and swear by, the Scientist and the Lab Rat. This is a tool that we have both used in many ways at many times to help create change in ourselves and in our lives, but with a whole lot less shame than normal and a whole lot more kindness than normal.
Yeah.
So we swear by it. Every episode is about one instance of us using the Scientist and the Lab Rat, one experiment that we've run, and today we are talking about
One of my experiments.
that we are.
This one has been a fun-ish experiment.
Question mark?
One full of growth nonetheless. And that is dating. Yeah, so I'm about to tell y'all a little bit too much about my personal life, but
We're gonna sit back and enjoy.
when do I not do this?
Go for it.
Basically, I have very severe attachment issues.
We need a bracelet for that.
Yeah, I don't think I got enough hugs as a kid, but y'all aren't Julie. Y'all aren't my therapist. So like for me, dating was never really a thing. I feel like I met someone, I liked someone, automatically started working on a relationship with them. I'm an Aries Venus in the 10th house at that too. So like I think I'm very like alluring to the right people. Sometimes with those people it is like they're also wanting to get into a relationship with me really fast.
I see.
So yeah, basically I just realized I was having a lot of trouble with dating because it wasn't dating. It was like I'd hang out with someone one time, then all of a sudden it's like
It was a literal full-time construction job.
literally.
You had to wear neon shirts every day. and
Literally.
Hard hats.
Yeah. So yeah, now I'm dating. I'm dating
Ooh.
multiple people.
Ooh.
I am centering myself.
Spicy.
We'll get into that though.
We will.
But yeah, I'm learning how to date. And that has been an experiment in itself. And let me tell you, it is an experiment. Like in a lab coat, in a lab, mixing chemicals, dissecting frogs, all of it. It's an experiment.
Do they know that they're frogs? Are you dissecting them, or you're just saying that's the level of science that's going on right now?
I'm an overthinker. I'm a Cancer rising, so I have Gemini in my 12th house. So both.
Okay.
Definitely both.
It sounds fun. Sounds like a lift, but
Yeah.
an
They don't know they're
expansive
frogs
lift.
though.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, some of them like have an idea, but like it's like the Truman Show up in there, you
Yeah.
know?
So dating, that's a bold choice.
Very bold. I'm a bold bitch though.
Okay. Heard. Noted. So what drove you to enter this wild world of dating?
LOL.
What were you feeling?
A lot of reflection on my past situationships because they weren't relationships, even though they felt like relationships. They weren't relationships. So a lot of reflecting, and upon that reflection, also shout out Julie, my therapist, I realized I was fucking lonely. I was very lonely.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I'm an introvert and I don't mind spending time by myself. But like I found that I was motivated to like have these really intense connections with people I was dating, right? Because I was motivated by my loneliness. I am an INFJ. I learned recently that INFJs have a relationship building mode,
Oh, yes.
and I was just completely defaulting to that. And whenever I met someone that I liked and I saw potential, I was just gung-ho, like, okay, cool, this is gonna work out. This is really gonna work out. Did it ever work out? No, absolutely not. And the thing that like really kind of stuck with me is the fact that like I was lonely before and I was unaware of the fact that I was lonely, which was driving me into these situationships with these people. And then when they ended, I was even fucking lonelier. That was the emotional indicator that was kind of fueling this experiment.
Oh
The
my
fact
gosh,
that I was
yeah.
really reflecting on the fact that I was lonely.
Were there any others? Like, were you scared? Was there fear? Was anything else?
I was ashamed, which is a very big theme on this podcast. We talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
I just felt really shitty after things ended with people because I realized that I wasn't prioritizing myself, that I wasn't listening to myself, I wasn't listening to my intuition. I was very much so in this blind mode of I'm gonna make it work with this person. It hurt my feelings a lot. It like damaged the connection a lot. And yeah, so I was also very ashamed. I was very sad that I neglected myself. It led to a level of distrust with myself.
Yeah.
I'm able to build it back every time, but like if you keep knocking down what you're building, you're not growing anymore, you know, or if you are, it's just not as much as you would if you weren't doing in the first place.
And you
So,
probably don't trust your building skills either.
yeah.
Or at least your maintenance skills, or
Yeah.
there's some distrust in there. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
And so I was hopeful that by dating and not applying my skill set with the objective in mind that this is going to end up in a relationship, but rather shifting my objective to I want to learn about myself. I want to prioritize myself, that I could build those skills
Okay.
or trust in my relationship building skills.
So that was your hypothesis.
Yeah.
That I could actually achieve that
Yeah.
by doing dating.
Yeah.
But in an updated way.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's juicy. What did it look like to be a hot single scientist?
Ooh.
It's giving Sanvi. Do you know who that is?
Yes. Yes. For Manifest.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I know Sanvi.
She's a lot of people's girl crush.
I completely understand it.
Me too.
Completely.
Fully.
Um,
We digress. Who the fuck is blaring Ed Sheeran out my window? This is not the sounds of summer in Providence you promised me. You said it would be
I
a bunch of
know.
Dominicans.
so what did it look like for me to be the scientist in this
A
experiment?
hot single scientist.
A hot
Get
sing-
it right.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, what did it look like?
Triple S. Said the science kid. Anyways. That's not the alliteration. It's the single. Oh no, it wasn't
It's not
Oh.
a triple S, but we could go with it.
single sexy scientist.
True. Fair.
Um,
You have the brain.
just for a moment.
Temporary brain.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what did it look like for me to be the scientist? I'm a really big fan of like humbling people, but like not in like a rude way, just mean like in dating, really like seeing the person as who they are, because I romanticize people a lot. Like a lot. And it blurs my vision, which is why I end up getting into situationships with like terrible people. And I'm allowed to say that because my therapist said the people that you date are terrible. So I'm allowed to say that.
Don't get me started, because I could ramble all the terrible shit they do. Like,
Okay.
even just like the personality flaws that have nothing to do with dating, that just like, why
Yeah.
would you drink your matcha that way?
You know what's so funny? One time I was like asking Hallie about this one guy I was dating. I was like, Hallie, do you think he's a bad person? She's like, I just think that's such a basic label.
Let's get into it. That's not nearly descriptive enough.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll say it again.
I'll say it again, shit. But I tend to idealize people. Okay, like today we're talking about bad nicknames for men. It's like literally like boiling them down to a very, very simple concept, which is kind of shitty, but it works so you don't get super attached and you're able to see things clearly. So at least for me. So that's one thing I've been doing as a scientist.
Okay.
Another thing is I've been taking a lot of notes. Like
Okay.
a lot of notes.
They are frogs.
I have my frogs, Hallie has her worms.
Period.
For example, I like save their contacts. Not that you guys are going to be able to see this, and not that any of this is going to make any sense, but like I save their contacts if you can see that. And I like literally have notes in their
An
contacts.
itemized list of insights.
Yeah.
Can I read them?
Yeah. And like some of them are so stupid. Like I went out with this guy and he walked in front of me while we were walking into the bar. That was a note. That was a note. It's almost like you have to like note their icks so that like when you're like too into them, you can rely back on their icks and be like, okay, not like too into them, but when you're like, oh my God, I think they're so great and they're so blah, blah, blah. Like you need facts. And so those are facts that are in their notes.
I think every one of us needs to adopt this as a best practice right now.
I also got this from TikTok. I don't know who I got it from, but I got this from TikTok.
Okay, so we probably have all adopted this except me. Okay.
I'm dead. So yeah, I'm literally taking notes. I'm watching their responses, their behavior, and I'm taking notes as they're talking. Like as soon as I leave the date, I'm in my car typing in these
Taking
notes.
Cornell notes on you, corny.
Literally, like I am adding the notes.
I love it.
Another thing that I did as a scientist is that I work a lot with my therapist on my interpersonal relationships, because I think that's where I have a lot of trouble or difficulty. And so she encouraged me to create a list of criteria of who I'm looking for in an ideal partner. I sat down, I did that. And so it allows me to go into dates and say, like, what are you looking for? When they ask me, what are you looking for in a partner? I'm like, okay, these are the things that I want. These are must-haves. Like, I need these things, right? And if they don't meet it, they don't meet it. And this is probably my most structured experiment.
Agreed.
But I think it's just because that it's a lot of subjectivity in dating. And it's like, I'm a feeler, okay? Like, I get really hung up on feelings and I'm like, oh, well, I like them and blah, blah, blah. You know, like, I fall for people mad easily, unfortunately.
We're
So,
working
like,
on it.
yeah, I need guidelines around that to, like, help me take better care of me.
Yes. Okay, that's so well said. And that makes this a beautiful opportunity for an experiment.
Yeah.
We now know what it's like to be a sexy single scientist.
Yes.
What's it like to be a hot girl rat?
Oh, yeah. How does it feel to be a hot rat girl? You know, it's fun. It's fun, I have to say. It's funny too.
Yeah.
Because
Often
going
is.
into this experiment not with the intention of entering a relationship allows me to have so much more fucking fun. I don't care
That's the truth.
what these men think of me. I mean, I care a little bit because, like, I'm still a people pleaser at heart. I'm working on it. It's just like it allows me to, like, have so much more fun. Like, I'm not worried about impressing them. I'm not worried about like okay, a big thing. So I went out on a date on Friday night. As I was getting dressed, I was like, I wonder what he likes. I haven't met the man yet. I wonder what he likes. I wonder, like, okay, like, is he gonna like this on me? Am I gonna, like, come off as this? And I'm like, no, keep him the fuck out of this decision.
Literally. What the fuck do you want to wear?
Sydney, what do you want to wear? How do you want to be perceived? Like, what outfit is gonna help you
communicate that?
Yeah. And so it's just been like listening to my thoughts, just being like, no, direct back to yourself. And I guess that's a little bit of being the scientist, but being a lover is just going out on the fucking dates, allowing myself to have fucking fun, giving myself permission while I'm on the date, prepping for the date, whatever, to be myself.
Yep.
Centering myself, and not in, like, a way where I'm dismissive of the other person's feelings, but just making sure that, like, I'm having a good time and that I feel safe, that I feel secure.
Yeah.
And then not caring about how they perceive me. There's this lyric, and I'm gonna fucking butcher this lyric, from FKA Twigs' song, and it's like the outro of the song, and it's like, stop caring about these men who don't even recognize the worth in themselves. Yeah. Another fucking lyric from Plastic Off the Sofa by Beyonce. One of the lyrics of the song is like, I think you're so cool even though I'm cooler than you. I still think I'm the fucking cooler person sitting at the table.
Here?
No, I think you're way cooler than me. But, like, when I'm on these dates,
Stop.
I swear.
No.
Do you see her apartment?
They don't, actually.
Okay, well, this is just one corner of her apartment. If you can imagine what everything else looks like, okay?
Welcome to MTV Cribs. We'll do a special.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'm just recognizing, like, I'm still, like, I'm so fucking cool. And there's nothing that's wrong with that. I'm just so fucking cool.
You are. And
I'm gonna keep doing shit that, like, makes me feel cool and makes me feel worthy and makes me feel valued. Yeah. And so that, for me, is being the fucking lab rat. Sometimes it's not fun, to be completely honest, but right now, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun because my main objective, my main expectation is about me, learning about me, loving me.
Yes. There's one word that you said that I feel like is understated and we should talk about it more.
Oh, okay.
Permission.
Oh, okay.
A lot of these experiments are about giving ourselves the permission to be or behave differently for an approachable amount of time.
Yeah.
Like the episode about weekly Lent.
Yes.
That was me giving myself permission to not have those active attachments and just see what's up.
Yeah.
Whereas normally I'm like, yeah, I can't give you permission. You're attached, dog. You know? Yeah. So can you tell us more about, like, giving yourself the permission to be yourself? And is it not easier to give yourself permission for one night than your whole life and just hope it works?
Yeah. So as part of any marginalized group, right? But especially as women, we're taught that we need to fit into certain spaces, that we need to be perceived a certain way, that we need to just be a certain way. And, like, we're also told that, like, our main aspiration in life should be marriage. And so it's like that doesn't really give you room for autonomy over your own self. As you're going through certain things in life, like dating, when you're basically kind of going through anything and everything, you're really thinking about other people. Like, you are, like, almost like a tool for other people, or you're something of use to other people. Like, you don't belong to yourself. Mm-hmm. And so by giving myself permission, I'm telling me that I belong to myself.
Yep.
And, like, I'm making sure that like I'm doing this for me because this is my life. Ain't nobody else making me money. Like, no one's paying my rent, unfortunately. No one else is paying my rent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're dating.
Child, I almost had someone paying my rent low key.
They got a cousin. Honestly, I don't trust dudes. I also definitely don't trust their cousins. Just in general. For every shitty man, they have a sketchy cousin. I'm right.
That's so fair. Anyways, yeah, no one else is paying my rent. No one else is paying my student loans. No one else, I mean, my car is paid off, but no one else is paying any of my bills. So, like, why the fuck would I allow people to be stakeholders in my life when they're not giving me shit? Like, Camera, I'm talking to you. Surviving is a lot, okay? It's a lot. It's a fucking lot. Living is a fucking lot. Why the fuck would we do it for anybody else when no one else is taking care of us? Why the fuck am I going to center people in my decisions in my daily life when no one else is taking care of me?
You're definitely the brain. That is so true.
But like, that's what I mean. Like, giving myself
never
permission.
heard it that straight. And now I need to make a worksheet about it because that shit is so good.
But like, really, that's what it is. It's just like giving myself permission to take up fucking space. Because I'm giving everyone else permission to take up space in my life, and it doesn't make sense.
You heard it here. That is good. That is good.
Thank you. Make that go viral, please. Because, like,
will do.
I would like to stop paying my own bills. You know, there's this girl on TikTok that was talking about, she like has basically made like a statement. She said it to her friends, her coworkers, and now her followers on TikTok. If anybody can introduce her to her husband, she'll give them like $5,000.
I love that.
I think that's mad smart.
So you should know the stars say that as of September, I am in the year where I'm going to find a partner. So if any of y'all can introduce me to my husband, I will get him to give you $5,000.
Yeah. I was going to say, she will not be giving it. He only, he's going to pay.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah. Okay, so what did you learn in this wild world of dating your way?
I've learned a lot.
I believe you.
A lot. It's been a very short time, but I've learned a lot.
Hence, you're the brain with all the learnings.
Yeah. I've learned to shift my motivation from dating to get in a relationship towards dating to get to know more about myself. And that's been like a very key takeaway that's branched into a lot of other learnings that we just talked about, like prioritizing myself, giving myself permission, taking up more space, having authority and autonomy in my life.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's also taught me I'm that bitch. I walk around like that bitch. I'm not Flo Milli though. Yeah, I'm just that bitch. And it's taught me also how to detach myself from perceptions and like the outcome and expectations. Like it's allowed me just to be present and whatever fucking happens. That is still a work in progress though, because I'm still very much so an INFJ. So that's a work in progress. Another thing is, and this is my favorite thing, life is so fucking funny if you let it be funny. I went on a date and my date finished my food, literally like took my plate from me. I was like, yeah, I'm full. He's like, oh, you're done? I was like, yeah, I'm full. He literally took my plate, bodied my plate. That's just the funniest thing ever. And it's like, I'm not taking it personal because it's just like, yeah, I'm not going out with you again, you know? But it's like, that shit is just so funny. That shit's just so funny. And it's like, if you let it, life is so funny. Life is so funny. Life is also not funny. So,
But life is also fucking funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last learning is that dating can be fun when you remove the focus on the outcome. When you focus more on the journey and not necessarily the destination, it's so much more fulfilling. It's so much more fun. You have these funny moments. I feel like this is so funny. So like my cousin, hey Bianca, she lives in London. She's always watching my close friends and she's like, the most random shit happens to you. And I'm like, I feel like I'm just collecting stories at this point. And I'm having fun with it because it's like, I know I'm going to be 50. I don't know if I'm going to have kids, but I'll be telling Miss Luna, my niece, all the shit that was going on in my life. Yeah, this is going on and this is going on. This is dating in my 20s. And I know they're going to be funny ass stories. And maybe one day it'll be a book or something. I mean, we're talking about it on the podcast now, but it can be fun when you are not focused on getting a boyfriend or getting a husband. I also saw this piece of advice on TikTok from this creator to basically live your life like you're never going to get married.
See, I'm not on TikTok, so I don't hear these things.
Yeah.
But they're good.
They're good.
I'm extremely interested in why.
it's just about not centering men and centering yourself. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get married, that the possibility of getting married is off the table for you. It's just living your life as if you will never get married. Therefore, you're never going to have to prioritize a man. You're never going to have to center a man. And it's just all about living aligned to yourself and your needs and your wants.
Okay, I fully feel that, because a lot of people who do want relationships or want to get married lean out of their deep individuality and lean into anticipation of when my relationship will come and define my life.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
All right, let me get off my soapbox.
I subscribe. I like that.
Thank you.
Okay, get back on your soapbox because I have more questions for you.
Okay.
How do you feel now? What are the emotional indicators on the other side of starting to experiment with dating in an intentional way?
Oh, I feel so worthy and so valued. Like, I feel my value. I think I'm definitely working on creating a more positive self-concept, which is really important, because it's like, I don't know, like now I'm walking into dating knowing my worth, knowing who I am, and it just feels better. It feels way better, because the second feeling it leads me to is I feel free. Like, I just feel like I'm myself. I feel like there's like a lightness to dating, because the stakes aren't so high, because it's not about getting into a relationship. It's about knowing me, learning myself. And I'm not drowning in who I think I should be or how I should be.
Yeah.
I'm just being myself. And the last thing is that I feel very detached, but in a good way.
Yes.
Like, I'm very much so in a flow state right now.
Okay.
And like that's important.
It's very important, and it's a gift when it's there.
Yeah. And it's just like, that doesn't mean like I'm just going to put up with anything. It's quite the opposite, actually. But what it does mean is that, I don't know, I trust like what needs to come to me will come to me, that everything's always working out for me. I ain't got nothing to worry about, baby. Shoddy.
Homie.
Wormy.
Buddy. Froggy.
Yeah.
Heavy on the froggy. Okay. Beautiful. So do you think you're going to keep dating?
Yeah. I mean, like, why not? I mean, I think that this is like an ongoing experiment, but that doesn't mean that like I won't likely take breaks for months at a time.
Of course.
You know, because like,
Lord knows.
It's fun, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot. Like, I've worn makeup
way too
every
many
single
days
day.
this week.
Yeah, like literally like probably for like a week straight. And I'm like, I could do without this. And yeah, I'll probably take a break again at some point, and I'm fine with that. Shift my focus on some other things, but for right now, it's fun. And when it stops being fun, I'm going to back out.
There you have it.
Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you. Well, thanks so much for listening. If you're listening on a podcast streaming service like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Google, please leave a review for us. If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. If you want to talk to us, if you want to know how my dating life is, you can reach out to us on Instagram at The Color Pink Podcast. You could also email us if you want to, thecolorpinkpodcast@gmail.com.
If you want to date Sydney, or you know who my husband is, reach out to us.
Yeah, that too. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Hope to see you next week, babes.